Hello and welcome to Generation Shadow, the epic supernatural saga that takes you through the entirety of horror history, one nightmare at a time. This is the third episode of our second arc, London, 1888. This episode is entitled Such Were the Joys. Because guess what, chums? We're going to school. So let's meet some of these characters who are going to be engaging in some fun, or maybe not so fun, shenanigans. And let's see what the sorting hat of fate throws, what house they go into. It's going to be the bad one.
Oh, should we say our house? Oh, let's do.
No, let's not. Anyway, let's, because J.K. Rowling is notoriously litigious. So.
Is she?
I don't know. Anyway,
I have no idea.
I was thinking she's the one being sued instead of the sewer.
That's probably, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Actually, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Yeah. We'll do a quick recap, but first let's meet the characters, as well as someone good recurring guest. Very happy to have him back, so we'll get to him in a second. But let's start with Marvin. I want to know who you are. I want to know who you are, who you're playing, what their vibe is as we go into our third episode, and then I think we'll come back around and we'll do the very first move because it might take a little while.
Yeah, the starting moves.
Yeah, so we'll pop back for that one. All right, so
Hi, I'm Marvin, and as you can tell by the hat, which I finally have,
woo! Looks great.
Oh yeah, I'm playing the Spectre, Captain Diego Winsley.
That's what the hat means.
Captain's
Oh yes, and with his hat, he's finally feeling somewhat decent, but Diego's having a nagging feeling at the back of his soul right now that something is not right.
I haven't found a way to kill you yet.
Well, they can't really kill me. I'm already dead.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But the nagging feeling in the back of his head that every minute he keeps spending on this living world, he's going to become something he desperately does not want to be. And he's doing everything he can to prevent that. But it's not working.
Twist.
The ghost must move on. After that, we have Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm playing a werewolf. Her name.
That's the truth.
That is true.
That's who you're playing.
Her name is Dame Oxand Forrest O.B. I just had a lovely time recently. Shagging a fellow. When some people think I should have been fighting, but they didn't die, so they can sod off. Just kidding. I love everybody. Sometimes too much. And inappropriately at the wrong. Look, I'm trying to make a deal with Dracula here to destroy Lord Quincy Claggett, and I think making a deal with one vampire to destroy another vampire is very reasonable.
Not that I do.
All's fair in love and war,
I don't know how
as they
air
say.
quotes work.
Nor do I.
Yeah.
I'm doing it right.
I mean, the air quotes hadn't been invented until at least the turn of the century, so.
Bob Betsy's pretty
I'm a
universal.
pioneer of air quotes.
After that, we have Dallas.
Flooding
Hey,
upside
I'm
down
Dallas.
commas.
I'm playing Piers Livingstone, who's a tobacconist and a ex-soldier medic. He's wasn't sure at first if he was happy to be associating with people who are rambunctious, as you might put it. But after last session, he feels a bit of that old spark definitely starting to happen. Yeah, so he's thinking he's back in it.
Ooh, cool. And then, very happy to have him back.
Well, there
Nick.
was a lot of sparks last session.
Yes. I'm Nick, and this time
Gunpowder spark.
I am playing the vampire, Marin Koshev. They are hard to tell in both age and gender, but they are very cunning, very, I guess, vampiric.
Yeah.
Yes. And very, very old.
Definitely. Nick. I know we're gonna move on, Patrick. I'm sorry.
No,
You get stuck behind the
don't
dude.
need to apologize. I get it.
All right, we're gonna talk about the debts that Marin owes and is owed.
Dead.
Before he, so who owes you and who do you owe, Marin?
Well,
Who?
so the first one is someone makes sure I get fed regularly. And he's none other than Dracula.
Ah,
So I owe him 2 debts.
Finest of blood.
Yes,
that would make sense. He's got his sources. I mean,
he does.
so you imagine you come from the east, like where?
I do. And-
Transylvania.
Yes, I came along with Drac when he came over here.
Oh, okay, so you're also a stranger to the.
I am.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say you're sort of like his inside man,
Mhm.
or inside vampire,
Vampire,
as it were.
yes.
Yeah, because he's kind of got you sneaking in, playing a double agent, or no, just a spy. Sorry,
Just a
with
spy,
yeah,
yes.
with Ordo Sanguis
Yes.
in England. All right.
I even when I was younger, and also Andre, my former werewolf.
From our first arc, yeah.
Yes, I may have been associated with him in one way or another. So
Okay, interesting.
yes. So next one is someone relies on me for their fix. They owe me a debt, and I am saying Dr. Jekyll owes me a debt for providing him with some of his ingredients that he requires for his
Yeah.
experience.
That makes sense. I think Jekyll has quite a few. He has an arrangement with Roxanne for that as well, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yes, however, I don't owe him debts, nor does he owe me. It's just a little bit of a difference.
Yes. And finally, someone bears responsibility for you becoming a vampire. They owe me a debt. It is none other than Dracula once again.
Ooh.
Ooh. Surprise, surprise.
So he sired you, as the term goes.
I haven't decided whether it was him or one of his brides.
Ah, okay. Well, that may come into play. So give it a think there if you want. And then let's move on to Patrick.
Hello, I'm Isolde Bilfay. I'm an American living currently in London.
An American wizard in London.
American wizard in London. House Horned Serpent. It's an American. I'm also flatmates with. That's my term, right? Flatmates
Yeah,
with
fine,
Roxanne.
that's right.
Little terse at the moment, but hopefully that'll maybe resolve itself. Who knows? I'm currently in line with the Temple of Thoth, which we just had a really bad incident happen. I don't know how that's gonna resolve, but we'll find out.
We'll resolve it with the people in Limehouse. It's going to be fine. I know all of them.
Well, that's good. That's good.
All right. So let me just do a quick recap, and then we'll
How do I say?
and then we'll see do our faction rolls. Maybe see how those sort of investigations or adventures go on. So Jack the Ripper has been doing some pretty nasty work over there in Whitechapel, and this quartet was enlisted by both Ordo Sanguis and the Nemean Club to find Jack the Ripper and put a stop to it. Their investigation led them to a mummy unraveling party in the Temple of Thoth, and it was crashed by some Zhang Shi, some hopping corpses, supposedly from Limehouse, brought by Boss Anum. They tried valiantly to protect this poor mummy of Tutmosis X, a renowned Egyptian wizard and necromancer, but he got carried away. Now there's only one other source of that possible magic in England, which could either be a counterbalance to Tutmosis X's necromantic powers, or something that could assist him in whatever horrific plan the masters of these Zhang Shi had in mind. The owner of this power is, unfortunately for all concerned, a 9-year-old boy, the young Lord Willkie Wallace Wintersmith, inherited the title after his parents were tragically disemboweled during a seance gone wrong. And he is currently enrolled at Bludgeon Hall Academy for young ladies and gentlemen. And that is, we're gonna, yeah. And at Bludgeon Hall, where Roxanne attended,
Yes,
we're gonna
Mr.
begin our issue. Issue? No, we're not comic books anymore, our episode. But first, let's go around and do the opening faction rolls. So let's start with, maybe we'll go the opposite way. If you're not ready, though, we can go the original way. Do you want to give us maybe a little better assault? If we kind of switched it up, or
I guess I think I have something I want in mind.
okay. So roll a faction you'd kind of like to investigate.
I want to
work
investigate
with.
night.
Okay.
This would be bad for me. It's a -1.
Well,
but
you get to mark it no matter what. So
true.
good way
It's
to
true.
level up. Yeah.
After in the time since our fight at the Temple of Thoth, I've had some questions about what could have kept a good friend of mine out of a fight that put me in danger. Now I kind of figure out see if there's some trickery going on within the Night faction, some conflict that might be arising. It's an 8.
Okay. So you want to see if there's conflict within Ordo Sanguis?
Yeah, I just want to see what's It would take something very persuasive to keep Roxanne from fighting, and I kind of want to do a bit of digging into what any new arrivals, specifically
okay.
from out of the country.
Right. All right. Well, with an 8, I'm going to say you're going to owe Mad Molly Montclair.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you.
Well, Mad Molly gives you a quick heads up that a lot of her vampire clientele, she's the one who arranges prostitutes for some blood play, some blood donations
Yes.
to the vampire aristocracy.
Donations.
Yeah, exactly.
Witness me blood bag.
Yeah. So because she's connected to these vampires, she knows a lot of them are worried about a new coming power from the east. Outside of Ordo Sanguis. So we kind of talked about Ordo Sanguis controls Western Europe in a very regimented way. But in the east, you have these powerful vampire lords that have their own kind of feudal territories. They often fight each other, but they grow in power or wane as fortune foretells. And one of them has arrived on England's shore.
Cool.
All right, Nick. Let's have you do, or I'm sorry, Marin. Let's have you do your faction roll if you're ready. What faction would you like to roll?
Let's go with. I will also go with Knight. I want to see if there's anything I can glean from these Westerners.
Oh, sure.
8.
Ooh. Okay. So I'm going to say, because of that, you're able to get pretty good. You get a pretty good.
I'm sort of ingratiating myself.
Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Yes. So the Headless Queen is the one who you're going to have the arrangement with.
Okay.
Maybe you get to meet her just once in their weird shadow parliament located under London in the sewers. The Headless Queen is, of course, the ruler of Ordo Sanguis. She's like a vampire and a ghost and zombie kind of all rolled up into one. A lich, perhaps.
Interesting.
And she's the one who sort of puts you together with Lord Claggett and these guys here.
Oh, so you are Lord Claggett.
And I see my reputation precedes me, you would say.
I'd
Livingston. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Livingston, how about you for your faction roll?
I'm gonna go with Wild, and my first curiosity is, well, I'm still in good standing with Jekyll. What's he really need Roxanne's blood for, and what's does Jekyll have a further stake in what's going on?
Oh, okay. So kind of focusing your questions about this one.
Yeah, or does he have any
scientist.
knowledge about those things that I encountered?
The hopping corpses?
Right, because in my estimation, I'm not sure exactly what they were.
Okay. Yeah, so roll wild. See how you do with that.
Oh my God!
Not again.
No! No! No!
It's alright.
That's a 3, baby.
No!
God. For those who are new to the show, our friend Dallas here has a little of a curse
Obsession.
going on with the number 3.
Well, you know what? When you get like a 5, it's gonna be like I've been down so long it looks like up to me kind of situation. So.
So that was 4.
All right. You still get to mark the faction, but you do not learn anything from Jekyll.
Ouch.
He's just a bit too busy with his experiments to give you the
and
time
your
of day.
potions.
I must work on my potions.
Give me tea, by the way.
Not for you.
Only
It's
for
all
the,
ghostly tea at the
Yes,
moment. I'm making it for.
only for my new ghostly acquaintance. How about Roxanne?
Okay,
Which
so-
faction would
Ship
Roxanne
is
like to
watching
roll?
Well, I would like to do my
Oh, I
wolf
leveled up,
move
anyway.
comes with the territory first.
Okay, I mean there might be some Whitechapel stuff here.
Yeah.
So
So
let's
I'm
do
gonna do my
that
comes
one.
with the territory roll. Which is a 9.
9's good.
Most of everything is stable, but one of my trouble surfaces. My werewolf troubles. Sometimes. My werewolf troubles are plus encouragement, which has to do with Lord Quincy Claggett, and plus haunted, which has to do with Jack the Ripper.
Okay.
So maybe there was another murder. I don't know.
Yeah, that's going to come into play, I think, perhaps this time. I'll think
Okay.
about that.
All
Yeah,
right.
that makes sense to me. Okay.
I was really hoping to get that +1 ongoing to hitting the streets, but apparently not.
Luck is against us.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. Are the Dragon Tongue part of the Wild faction?
Yes,
Okay.
that is correct. Boss Autumn is a nominal member of the Tuatha.
Okay, then I want to investigate who paid the Dragon Tongue to steal that mummy.
Okay.
I have my suspicions that it's Dracula, but I don't want to take a straight run at Dracula. So I'd rather go the back channel ways. And it's not weird for me to show up in Limehouse. I show up there a lot.
That makes sense.
Okay, that is a 10.
Whoa. All right.
Yo.
Thanks to some doing a little bit of digging in Limehouse, you discover that Boss Autumn did not order the Hopping Corpses to attack.
Interesting.
It was not him. You're able to figure out that, like, I mean, he has some Hopping Corpses under his command, but it's something, or actually, I mean, he's, as an upstanding gentleman and dragon, he would not sully himself with having dead men do his bidding.
Does he know who would perhaps want to use hopping corpses?
He probably wouldn't know. He probably wouldn't know exactly who did it, but he would know that, like, they can be imported.
Okay.
They exist in China. Somebody with connections there, with the right connections, could probably arrange for their creation and transport.
Somebody in China? Or-
Not in China necessarily, but someone who has, like, connections in
Okay.
the Orient could arrange for their creation and transport to
Okay.
land.
So I guess the useful piece of information I'm trying to find out is who. Which
He's not sure, but you do know it wasn't him.
okay.
So
Can I get a debt instead?
oh, okay. Oh, I see.
well, for my 10 plus, I'm supposed to get a useful piece of information or equipment.
Useful information is that Boss Autumn was not involved.
Okay.
It's quite useful information.
I would say that. Yeah.
All right.
You
How
almost bring
about-
it back to the immortality faction?
How about the captain?
So think
I
it's
think
him.
the captain's going to question some of the Ripper's victims, as there's probably a lot of ghosts floating around.
Oh,
and the
you're
Ripper's
right.
connected to all of this somehow, some way. And they've had a first-eye experience with him,
Ooh.
unfortunately.
I like it.
Any
Okay.
chance about this right?
So,
Would you say? Oh, go ahead.
the streets
Chance to ask about this right?
for mortality? let's
No,
say?
this is just your opening move.
This is your opening move, which you could use for that, though. I kind of like that.
Okay.
I mean, I would say you could make a case for them being in mortality or night, because like they were pretty normal women.
mortality, I would say.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, give it a roll.
At -1, we have
Ooh, buddy.
a 2. Dang.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
ghosts aren't around. Maybe there aren't ghosts. Spooks.
Well, at the moment, you're just not
Can't see
able.
me.
You're just not able to encounter them. So still go to market, but
Too
can't
much
find them
in
to
trauma.
interview. Yeah.
There's not enough powerful emotion to keep them rooted.
Lucky bastards.
All right, so let's get into kind of the meat of our episode. So we are going to start a handsome cab picks you guys all up at your flat. You pile in.
Is that our meeting
I have
place
to-
now?
I have to ask my usual question. What time of day is it?
It's early morning. They want to start you out bright and early.
All right.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Well, it
it's-
changes every night.
Yes, and also because you got a little bit of a journey.
I hope you've eaten your porridge.
The Handsome takes you out of London,
Yeah.
into the countryside, and brings you to Bludgeon Hall Academy.
This is the ways out here.
I forget why we're going to Bludgeon Hall again.
We're trying to find
Fine.
some
Into
young.
Smith.
Yeah. Thank you.
I know the Lord Willkie, but what's the Lord Willkie have to do with it?
He's a powerful wizard or a powerful entity of some sort that they think might be the next target if someone's trying to take things that are powerful, especially the mummy wizard.
We're just trying to defend Lord Willkie.
I think.
And we're not looking for the Ripper anymore? Or
We're-
are
I
we still
think-
Very
looking for
confused.
Yeah, the Ripper. I'm sure will come back around, but I think this is more of like, hey, bad things are happening. You guys can hold off on the Ripper investigation for just a little bit while you make sure this person doesn't get kidnapped or taken.
Talking about bad things happening. Number one, I found out that the Dragon Tongue has nothing to do with their topping corpses. They came from
Okay.
somewhere else.
Good to know.
Cool.
Number two, I am sorry that I sat out the
No,
fight.
it's
And I need you to understand, it's because a very powerful vampire contacted me.
from Eastern Europe. Europe
Yes,
appeared as
beforehand.
messing with the Order of Sanguis. Yeah, I get it.
And said that he would help me with Lord Claggett if I sat out that fight.
I have a question. Should we talk about this in front of the new guy?
Oh, is he there?
Not
Oh,
quite.
I don't know if he's in the car.
Thankfully.
I don't know if he's in the car or not, to be honest. He's just sitting there seething. I'm like, is there like a hooded figure in the car? Just
because it's in the middle of the day.
It's the middle of the day, yeah.
I mean, you don't like die or something, do you?
I burn.
Yeah.
Do you really?
I'm a vampire.
I don't know how vampires work in this.
They
I'm not
burn
gonna
in
do
the
it that-
sun.
I'm not doing that sparkly
are
shit.
allergic to soap.
You don't, Marin. You don't sparkle. However, if you
Skin of a killer.
if you have the proper protection and like a parasol, you'll be okay. Also,
Okay.
it's England. The sun doesn't shine.
Yeah.
Not on these isles.
Okay, sorry about that. Just didn't know if he was there or not.
No.
It was like, wait, I should ask. Like,
No.
okay, so he's not there. Never mind it.
It is super foggy as well,
Yeah,
Okay.
as it always is in the countryside.
freaking. It's
I
freaking
figured
weird.
Yeah.
I figured I'd be meeting them there. So.
You are. So,
Cool. Never mind then.
Yep.
Bludgeon Hall is a
So sorry for I'm sorry for freaking out. Honestly, I should have thought more rationally. I took some time afterwards. I did my own thing because something just didn't feel right about the situation, and I found out that information. Do you know who this vampire is by chance, or this
I know that his name is Dracula.
like
He
the
is,
like the Abraham Stoker novel? Stoker novel?
More like Vlad the Impaler.
Was
Dracula,
there's a
I
novel that was
think.
released like last year by a local.
What's that? Well,
Yeah.
you must have known about this. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, it's a piece of fiction, but again, I mean, like it's.
Apparently not.
Yeah, no, I'm a little weirded out by that now. That's not okay.
like all the best
Based
stories
on-
is rooted in fact.
Well,
Yes.
he probably thought that nobody would believe in Irishmen.
That's true. Okay, you're right. Wait. I thought it was an
minute.
Irishman.
The carriage dropped you guys off at Bludgeon Hall. It is a vast collection of towering, somber stone buildings connected by brick pathways. It's a little bit of a garden, and it is very foggy and miserable. Outside the main hall, you were all met by Sir Thomas II and an individual.
Titus
Yeah, I'm sorry, Sir Titus II, the Grand
Where's
Lion
Titus
of the
one?
Nemean Club. Yeah. Sir Titus introduces you to this individual who's standing with you. He's like, this gentleman has been sent to us by Ordo Sanguis.
Great.
I'm not sure if I would
I wouldn't say
consider
that
myself a gentleman, but
doesn't
Oh,
look
you
like
wanna-
a gentleman.
Looks
or
like one
a
of
gentle
Claggett's
lady.
lackeys.
Another one of Claggett's. Oh, quaint. Damn, this tea's good.
Did Dr. Jekyll get you more?
Well,
A little bit. I have a supply now.
That's
I don't know
introduce
how I feel about
myself.
drinking
Give
this.
my associates here. His Livingstone, pleasure.
Livingston, so polite.
Captain Diego
Give one a
Wesley.
cigarette.
no, thank you.
Service.
It's been many a year since I've done that, and it's become boring.
Whoa.
Wow.
Used to other people introducing me. However, I'm Dame Roxanne Forrest OBE.
Marin Koshev at your service.
And I'm Issel. Nice to meet you.
To you as well.
Give her a spot of tea.
If you can drink it.
And don't spoil the surprise. You always do this when I'm.
Well, then I suppose we're going to put a
Upset
very
ghost.
That's what you
unpleasantly
get for
worded
hunting
message
me,
on the
asshole.
window again.
Yeah, finish your job.
Passive aggressive threatening.
You really should be paying something if you're going to keep staying in the flat.
Sir Titus
No
says,
one's had a price. None of you have actually said, "Hey,
Such- can we at least curtail such matters for the moment?
Yes,
There's so
yes,
much
yes.
at stake.
Yeah, sure.
If you would follow me, he's wearing his cricket whites as well, by the way.
He would be.
Yeah. So he brings you in. And he's like, the hallowed halls of learning, and if you allow me, I'll introduce you to the headmaster,
Sure.
Mr. Menelaus Thaddeus Thorne. He brings you inside. Headmaster Thorne is sort of waiting for you in the hall. He is a distinguished-looking fellow, wearing somber black with some pretty good sideburns and a very well-kept mustache.
Headmaster Thorne, lovely to see you again. Do you still have the room for the people inflicted with the royal disease?
We have, at the moment, we do not have any of our students suffering from that particular malady, but yes, the room was prepared when I heard you were arriving.
Very good. I'll
Miss
spend the best
Roxanne.
years of my life.
You only have one of those rooms.
We can perhaps arrange for a second one if necessary.
Thank you, my good man.
Indeed, I am so very pleased to meet you. The safety of our students here at Bludgeon Hall is paramount, along with their preparation to serve the Empire.
Indeed.
Now, I understand that the student which concerns you is young Willkie, is that correct?
Indeed, yes.
Oh yes, Willkie. He is a rather incorrigible child, a bit willful, but it would certainly look bad and reflect poorly upon his establishment if anything untoward happened to the lad. I believe I've examined his schedule for your preparation. He currently has his chemistry class, which will be just in that hall across the way over there. Following which there shall be a small break, and then this is actually the day in which he has been selected to join another one of our alumni, Professor Crumbles, who will take several other students out into the countryside for butterfly catching.
Crumbles, you say?
Yes,
Good man.
Interesting.
indeed.
Interesting.
What's he doing, girl?
And he does so love the butterflies. So if you would just perhaps find some way to unobtrusively observe Willkie, perhaps we could arrange positions as visiting alumni, prospective parents. I leave it in your capable hands to decide.
I think that's that at least two of us here are familiar with Professor Rufus Crumbles, that we should maybe pose as his assistants for today.
I'm sure the old boy would love that one.
Yeah. Well, I know that he's not your friend right now, but he's at least mine, and that's something.
That's fair. It will be
Distinguished.
I'm afraid
Professor
it'll be about
Swords.
half the day until Crumbles appears, but you could say that you've
Or have Jerry to help prepare.
yes, that would be suitable.
So if you wouldn't like that, Livingston.
What about
I'm sorry.
actually, Captain Diego? Are you revealing yourself to the headmaster?
Do I ever reveal myself?
All right. In that case, he just talks to Roxanne and
I'm just
Marin.
going to saunter off to where Willkie is and just literally be angel on his shoulder.
Oh, okay.
He's about to
All right,
would
well-
murder you.
we will get to you and Willkie.
Wilkie's head turns all the way around so I can see.
Oh boy, maybe you're not wrong. All right.
Wait, what faction is he again?
What was that?
What faction does he belong to?
He's mortality so far.
Interesting.
So far.
So far, the GM
Oh, I love
says.
that.
How about?
classic
He
GM
was,
move.
he was on the sheet that we got beforehand.
Hey,
I'm sorry, I
trust
haven't read
nothing.
in a while.
Haven't you learned? Trust nothing I give you.
I'm already suspicious of Crumbles now. Twice he's been at places like this.
Headmaster Thorne
That was
says.
not allowed. That was not allowed. That was not
I
allowed.
should have known who Professor Crumbles was if he was one of my professors.
Miss Roxanne.
He's not here.
Well, he might have taken over after you graduated. And also, he's only like a special guest who does the butterfly catching himself.
It's true. Okay.
Roxanne, how will you be posing for our school here?
Well, I mean, I do believe I'm a distinguished alumni, so...
Oh, I see. Taking your visit of the class.
Yes.
That's fair. And what about our Eastern visitor?
Prospective parents of sorts, maybe?
It could be.
That is a possibility. I was maybe
I would perhaps... Oh, yeah, go on.
No, it was, I can see that I can be looking at this school for a possibility of bringing some of my associates over as either teachers or students.
Oh, certainly. Some Eastern potentate could send their child over here. It's fair.
You should be aware they only have one changing room at the moment.
Noted.
He says there is... Well, actually, what might perhaps be of interest to you, Miss LaFay, is that young Willkie is in need of a governess. And that would make sure you stayed in his orbit very closely. Would that be acceptable?
Are you asking her that because she's black? Because that's very, very much something you should...
Yeah.
I'm asking because she's American.
Yes, I
So
kind of
many
understood
Americans
that.
find employment here as governesses.
Okay.
Their spirit and perhaps the emptiness of their pockets makes them seek out.
That's a very valid point about the emphasis pockets. I'd much rather be associated with Professor Gumbels personally. I am good friends with him. He is sort of a mentor while I've been here.
Very good, very good.
But if we need someone to be more of a keeping a closer eye, then I will acquiesce to being a governess.
Well, just make sure that you do, for the Ripper's agents may be about.
Do you
So-
think that the Ripper has eyes on Lord Willkie?
Well, whatever individual set those Chinese corpses upon the party in the Temple of Thoth would perhaps be going after young Willkie as well. Now, I'll summon someone who will make the introductions, and he rings the bell. This is our head boy, Rupert Pupley. So Rupert, who is like kind of a maybe mid-teenage years, a very ruddy-cheeked, tow-headed lad appears. And he's like, follow me then, if you please. This way, this way. And he leads you over towards the Hall of Sciences, where the chemistry class is soon to occur. So, meanwhile, you appear over in Willkie's dormitory. It looks not dissimilar to like the bunks in your ship, which seems so like it's pretty crowded and very unhygienic.
Swear they don't have a swabby anywhere to clean this mess up.
It is pretty miserable.
Yeah, I agree.
And young Willkie, who is kind of a scrawny boy with like raven black hair, humongous dark eyes, is kind of sitting huddled in the corner reading some sort of ancestral book with an ankh on the cover, that like Egyptian symbol, symbolizing rebirth and necromantic magics.
That's a normal thing.
That's it, exactly. It's a normal thing for a child to have.
That's what I did back then.
That's what I did. I'm a mage, so it makes sense.
So, considering that I see the weird kid hovering over the corner with the book, I would like to investigate his room. See if there is any like supernatural, otherworldly vibes I'm getting from this kid.
Okay. Well, so why don't you investigate a place of power?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense to me.
Around.
Yeah, sure.
Roll with a mortality. Yeah. You can mark that faction too. You have
Ooh.
got it marked already. Not so good.
That was like half good.
4.
A 4.
I
Alright.
didn't make it one.
Ooh.
I'm so sorry.
I have -1 with mortality.
He notices you. You can go ahead and mark mortality. Yeah, because of this, it sort of backfires. You get a little bit too close, and you can tell like he looks up and starts looking around. He'd be like, "Excuse me, is there's something hovering about. Have I conjured up a spirit?
Okay, I'm going to manifest to be heard and touch and be touched by physical objects. He cannot see me. And I go,
He stands up. He draws himself to his full height and be like, "Spirit, this is extremely rude. I am Lord Willkie Wallace Wintersmith, the heir to the House of Wintersmith. I urge you to show yourself or depart and stop blithering about and bothering me."
Erg, why would you be reading such books then, laddie?
It's
If you didn't want spirits to be coming into your room.
If
you ask me,
No,
that's pretty rude yourself.
No, this is not what was going on. It is my parents' book, if you must know.
Your parents? Who they be?
They are deceased.
Sorry to hear that, lad. My parents are deceased too,
Oh.
as well as I.
Oh!
You're not wrong.
That is most tragic to hear. I've introduced myself. Will you not do the same?
Hey, I don't know if I can manifest twice. Well, I cannot be seen, but I'm taking off me hat in front of you. If you can.
I'll have to take your word for it.
Me name is Captain Diego Wensley. That's your service, lad.
Oh. Did you serve with Lord Nelson, perhaps? I read all about Lord Nelson. He's a true hero.
I was a captain.
Were you in the Royal Navy?
I served alongside the Royal Navy.
Oh.
On the opposite side of
How many Frenchmen did you butcher?
Well, it's more Spanish men than
Of course. That's just as good. Wow. Well, I'm very pleased to make your acquaintance, sir.
I'm in the curse of a murder.
He's delighted about
Please.
this. Yeah.
This is why Roxanne had to tell them to stop being racist, okay?
He's like, you must. I have chemistry class after this. It's actually a visiting doctor by the name of Jekyll. He's a nice fellow. But I find the class very boring. There's so many sums. You must accompany me and be my friend.
Well, I've heard a lot of things about this Dr. Jekyll.
He seems
Don't
a nice.
mind if I do.
Oh yes, we'll talk over so many
Let's
things.
do this sing shows.
He's delighted. He skips his way out of the room. Like,
terms
I've
of
got a ghost friend.
He shut me out.
Singing to himself.
Do any of us hear this?
No, he was hanging
no.
out in the dormitories.
Well, as he's leaving and saying that to himself, do any of us hear this?
Well, I suppose he would be humming and singing as he goes over to join Pupley, who introduces you. And Pupley's like, "There you are, Wintersmith. Skipping around, singing. Put a stop to it, eh?"
Matt, that's what you were singing, young boy.
No. It was just
fine.
something from an air from the HMS Pinafore.
Don't let me hear it then, please.
The Pinafore is a ship that.
Can I lend him a hand? To
Yes. All right. Roll mortality.
Make him sing better.
9.
Nice.
Hey. You whisper the lyrics to for he is an Englishman, and he sings it perfectly.
That's excellent.
You can tell he looks over his shoulder and is like clams up.
I was going to British work here with the reference because I am an idiot.
Pupley says, "You're a weird one, Wintersmith. Very well, enjoy your chemistry class."
Well observed. Well observed, Pupley.
Thank you.
10 points to Gryffindor.
Huzzah! He heads away. So you guys enter. You guys enter the chemistry room, the classroom. It's kind of a very large hallway. Lots of uncomfortable desks where the boys and girls are all kind of crammed together.
Looks about right.
Yeah. Not. I mean, in Bludgeon Hall, they raise them as ladies and gentlemen by bludgeoning the spirit out of them. That's their motto. I'm sure it has some horrific like Latin. I should have forgot to do this. giving them like a brutal like Latin motto or something. It's like
Right.
the weakness equals death or something like that. Anyway,
Pain
what is-
enlightenment.
Yes,
Pain
exactly.
Enlightenment. Oh man, what's that? I'll find a translation for you.
I know. One of my friends, he went to like
I can get
some college in Bristol actually, and the motto was like the wisdom of serpents. Like, I couldn't believe it.
I mean,
Exactly.
yeah.
So, so in this classroom at the far end, Dr. Jekyll is getting all this like lots of his chemistry equipment out, and he's there to teach the kids about just the basics of chemistry. But safety is not particularly one of his specialties.
Can I channel some magic?
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
That's really good. That is an 11. No, it's a 12. So yeah, that's 4 hold.
Okay. So he is on the desk. He's got all these various tubes, beakers, flasks of ingredients set up. And at the far end, there is the class pet, who Willkie introduces to you, like kind of whispering under his breath, like, "That is Lord Longears, our pet rabbit."
I can see.
Not for long.
Yeah, Lord Longears is a kind of a plump rabbit who's just sitting in his cage.
They've been feeding him too many carrots. It's bad for rabbits.
Yeah, he'll make good eating one day.
De dolore illustratio.
Through pain, strength?
Out of pain comes enlightenment.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's their motto. Inscribed on the paddles they used to beat the steer inside that.
British people.
Exactly.
Can I pull her aside for a quick moment before we really go in while she's sort of
Oh, yes.
charging up?
And while you guys are doing this, Marin,
I'm a fire mock you laser.
someone meets you, so kind of like pulls you, beckons you back. So we'll get to you in a second.
A good saying.
Livingston, what do you tell Isolde?
So I say, congratulations on being a governess.
Apparently, that's what I'm doing now.
No,
I
you're
guess.
not. You said
I
no.
know.
so-
I said if. I know. If I have.
It was just a suggestion. So.
But what do you plan on doing once we go inside?
Acting as a deserter, saying that I'm here just to watch while we wait for Professor Rufus Crumbles to arrive for his afternoon journey to capture butterflies. I guess I'm just kind of watching over the class. And I don't know if you've seen Dr. Jekyll in there, but that's doesn't look very safe, so I might be pulling protection duty just for in general in that room.
Trust me, the old boy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, but
What is
we
your
thought you did too, but you started meeting people.
Don't give up on
I'm
me
joking,
yet.
I'm joking,
Don't
I'm
give
joking.
up on me
I'm
yet.
kidding.
What's
No,
your
I'm sure
specialty in observation?
My specialty in observation, I don't have any specialty per se in observation. Mine's more of tracking, hexing, causing elements to act in ways I predict.
And I will back you up on the medical things that happen to one's
Cool.
physical being.
So let's try to keep these students safe from any stupid BS that might any stupid things that may occur with the brilliant Dr. Jekyll and his unfortunate lack of precaution. But then again, his science.
Okay. Can I do the best laid plans between the two of us?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, because you're planning like how to observe and take care of the classroom. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm going in there as this medical doctor that is observing, and one person already doesn't like me, so.
Yeah, you got nothing.
Oh no!
Snake
It's
eyes.
like you're going like threes, huh? How about twos, sucker?
All right. Well, you get one help from me. Something's gonna go bad
You want some new dice?
at the worst possible. I really don't believe in that because it didn't even
didn't
change
work
last
last
time.
time.
Yeah, it didn't change.
He rolled with
I
like
really-
6 different sets of dice.
I really
Yeah.
don't believe it, but thank
Do
you.
not change.
Thank you.
The luck is not in the dice; it is in his hand.
Well, the +1 could be helpful, but yeah, something will go wrong.
God.
Marin, what might be going wrong, perhaps, is that a stoop-shouldered, thin individual who was kind of very messy, dark hair, wearing like just kind of a stained like oil skins, sort of pulls you aside, and he's like,
You're rolling all you like.
"You're You're one of Drex, are you? You belong to the Master.
Nothing goes over my head. It's a fact I will catch it.
Do I know this person?
Why don't you roll Night, and we'll see how well you do. You can mark that you haven't already, but because I don't know how
Oh,
well.
buddy.
13.
No. Oh wow. Okay, yeah. This is, you know him. This is Renfield, who is Dracula's mortal assistant. So, yes, the Master told me. What? He's Peter Lorre. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Master told me you would be here. I'm working as the groundskeeper.
Very good.
Just put us all on the ground and keep us there.
Exactly. So many little animals running around here, so full of life.
I'm sure.
None of the rest of us know this.
I know.
No, he's taking
I know.
it aside.
I'm glad I don't know this.
He's
I
like,
killed this dude right away.
He says, I
don't like him.
have arranged for a problem to befall the doctor during his lesson.
Oh?
In the chaos, I take the boy.
May I ask what the master wants with the boy?
The Master knows. He would not share it with one such as me.
Well, as long as the master seems to know what he is doing.
Okay. So Renfield says, so when the time is right, be ready.
Of course.
Roxanne.
Yeah, so I'm in the room, just investigating the room. I don't know if I can consider that an investigative place of power, but that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm basically checking to make sure, try to figure out if there's anything weird going on or anything dangerous.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so roll mortality.
Dang, that's an 11.
Everybody but Dallas is
Yep.
the luck. Okay, so. All right. You notice. I'm gonna say you notice Renfield. Looks like a pretty normal classroom. Jekyll's ingredients probably not safe, but you kind of knew that already. But yeah, you notice this like weird, stoop-shouldered, thin, Tom Waits looking individual lurking in the doorway, kind of watching over the class.
Okay, I am going to sort of imperiously but quietly move to the doorway. And
Okay.
confront this individual.
All right. He's like, oh, pardon me, your ladyship. I was just going about my rounds.
Very good. You may continue your rounds.
Very well.
We wouldn't want you around along the children now, would we?
Oh, no. I have my duties I must see to.
Certainly, there must be some rats that you must be taking care of somewhere.
Yes.
Perhaps a vole or two.
Oh, of course. He starts like slinking away down the hall.
But he seems suspicious. I'm gonna stay in the door now, like officially observing the class, but really observing to make sure this creepo doesn't come back. Because he might as well be wearing a sign that says "I am suspicious."
Yeah,
we're
where's
gonna
Renfield
be
put?
on
a list somewhere.
Yeah, perhaps.
I will
All he does is want to eat things that are full of life and drain their blood. I mean, what's so weird about that?
Fun fact: I was in a band called Renfield when I lived in LA.
Oh, that's so wow, that's so cool.
I'm actually going to go up to Roxanne and say, that individual is useful to a friend of ours. You may have spoken to him last night.
Oh, interesting.
I am going to move out of earshot of everybody else, but still where I can see things. So, this individual is the one that's going to be capturing the boy then.
He is trying. You know, I know our mutual friend has a great interest in you, and I may be able to lend a hand with his investigations as well as yours. I'm already doing the latter, but I can promise you that can be of much service. So, and I'm actually going to try and persuade you into sort of helping him.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm
I'm
getting the
actually-
impression that you're talking about Dracula, not Clyde, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I'm actually using my move, Irresistible. So. 6. So, I believe persuading is with heart.
Yes.
So
Yes.
one, so 6, 7. But on a 7 and 9, as I treat a 7 and 9 as a 10 plus.
Can I see this? As I'm suspicious of any vampire at the moment. To try to get in the way of this conversation by interrupting it.
Also, do I know he's a vampire, or do I not?
Well, I'm suspicious of anything involving her moving away and talking to somebody. Sorry, no
That's fair.
offense.
Would you
Okay.
mind if I rolled Night to put a face to a name to figure out if he's a vampire?
Yeah, let's have you do that. For you to notice, I want you to roll.
I think you're a werewolf, dude. That's what she's been thinking ever since. Like you were like, oh yes, the royal disease. She's like, oh no.
Why don't you roll with
right.
mind? See if you notice.
That's
Nice.
a 12, buddy. Plus
Oh, wow.
1, 13.
Yeah, you were like just in the right position, so you hear all of this.
Cool. When he's about to begin to making the speech, I'm going to walk up and interrupt to try to get in his way.
Oh. So
Okay.
you're trying to do a get in the way
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
fail.
And this is with, I'm guessing, Knight then?
Yeah, his faction.
Nope, that's a 4.
A worthy attempt. All right, so
Okay, so what is it that you do now that we
So, with Irresistible, when I'm persuading an NPC using promises or seduction, I treat a 7 to 9 as a 10 plus result.
She is an NPC, though.
that's true.
That's true.
I will say
That's true.
you
I'd
can
still
like.
treat it as a 10 plus. Go for it. Okay. It's against me, and I'm cool with it.
Okay, very good. All right, well,
I'm trying to use my moves.
Nice.
class
what,
begins.
So what is it that you're doing? Just persuading me to do nothing?
In a sense, or possibly help out if needed.
We wolves have to look out for each other, but you should be aware that I cannot transform easily.
That is okay. Useful in other ways, and you may not consider me a wolf, but I know many of them.
Oh, are you not?
I'm afraid not, my dear.
Oh, I'm very sorry. I thought with you asking about the changing rooms and all that, you might be.
Ah, the old mistaken for werewolf.
Classic
We've seen
bits.
that story.
All too many.
So who's exactly in the classroom right now?
Right now, I think everybody is over here.
Yeah.
As well as a class of like 25 students and Jekyll.
Since I did overhear this, I do want to pull these two aside, if I can. And let them know of what I heard, that something bad's about to happen.
You're overhearing all of this because you're.
So I'm pulling Livingstone aside, and I'm
okay.
assuming that Diego's there with me.
Yeah, I
I'm
think that
everywhere.
we're actually slightly outside of the class.
Oh, okay, so you're kind of in like the
And I'm pulling
doorway.
them to the back, like,
Yeah.
yes, I just overheard this new fellow of ours. Something bad's going to happen, and I'm pretty sure that our good friend Roxanne is going to do nothing, like last night. Nothing against her.
She wasn't doing nothing, I'll tell you that.
No, okay, no.
I sincerely
Okay.
I have
wish she
No.
wasn't doing anything.
The kidnapping of the boy
They're
is
a
going to
little
happen
blurry.
here. The kidnapping of the boy is going to happen in this particular setting. Something's going to happen with Dr. Jekyll's gear. Something's going to happen. I don't know, maybe with his gear or something. And it's not going to turn out well. We need to be prepared. We need to make sure that this boy does not get taken.
If anything happens, I'm right next to the boy. I can
Keep
whisk
an-
him out of here.
There's
like that.
someone here that is on their side. I don't know who, but we need to figure that out. And my guess is there's something probably related to the new guy. So,
Or a new girl. New
if-
person.
new person.
Yes.
This new person, yes, guy who's non-genderly, without gender. Yes, new person. We need to keep an eye on this. This is something that's going to happen. I'm going to be here. I will try to use my magic as best I can to prevent whatever happens, but something's going to happen, and I'm sure one of our teammates is not going to do anything, and the other one's working against us.
So Jekyll is starting the class's attention. You know, the They have bells in boarding school. I mean, they probably just like hit a young child, and their squeal was the signal to begin. Oh, these
Uncomfortable
Well, if
as
they
myself.
do want to be used as the
Yeah,
ringing
I
bell,
know.
then they have to have higher marks.
Yes, exactly. Oh god, British boarding school is so bad.
Comfortable with that.
Maybe not now. Should they change all of
anybody
it?
with? My character is uneasy.
They
with
haven't.
this.
Okay.
Listen to this
Mine
Smiths
a little
fan.
bit.
Yeah,
Well,
this is all based off
been
of Such Were the Joys by George Orwell. That's about his British boarding school experience and how horrible it was. So give that a read if you want to be depressed. So anyway, so you're hovering in front of Willkie, who is like, he's busy doodling in his notebook all these like pirate ships and being like, I'm gonna summon, or not pirate ships, just sailing ships, all with a Union Jack. Humming
this
the
kid-
heart of oak are our
This
ships,
kid's
jolly
gonna be
tars are our
very
men.
disappointed once he sees the ship, which I'm going to ready right outside the building in case we need to make a quick getaway.
Oh, okay. it'll be in the area.
And I'm just going to. So everyone's in the room, right?
Yes.
I'm going to whisper to Willkie.
Oh.
Okay. So you see that lady over there, currently just watching everyone.
Oh yes,
right?
one of our
and that
alumni.
gentleman looks like a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually part of my crew. Don't say that loud. Don't.
So they're dead.
For the sake of this exercise, yes. So for just
his-
all you need to know is that you can trust these two. Okay. So
Well-
if were anything to happen, not that I'm saying anything is, but in case something does, those two you can trust.
Very well. I shall command them to defend me.
Right at that moment, my character comes in, grabs Isolde by the wrist, and goes, "Can we have a word for a moment?"
And I would actually
No,
like
thank
to
you.
go
Not
get
right
close
now.
to Diego and
I really think it's important that we have a
To
word right now.
Lord Willkie and be
Can
like,
wait, can't
may
it?
I speak to your friend?
Sir, you mean the friend that only I can see?
Yes.
Not right now.
Oh, okay, very well.
My good friend
Please,
Diego.
please, during the break. We can
Jekyll has begun the class, by the way, at this point.
I'm not moving. I'm not saying anything. You can't see me.
You don't know where he's at. He's invisible to everybody.
Dearest Isolde, by the time of the break, it might be too late.
I know what's going on. It's okay. I've
Good
got it
friend
handled.
Diego, we have mutual friends.
Dang it. You can't sense them here, can you?
Of course.
Damn it. Freaking vampires.
Jekyll's like, chemistry is the science of change.
Go on, old boy. Good show. Keep going.
If I might have a moment with you, there's
1 second. Very good.
Yes, sir?
Just be cool. Don't worry. It's not the first time I've watched over a little one. You're in good hands. So don't worry. And I pat the kids back. Would
feeling a
that
bit
count
better.
as an intimacy? How do I say
Intimacy?
intimacy move?
Emotional, yes, because you're...
Good. I'm getting +1 hold on him.
Okay.
Whenever he gets into trouble, I can spin my hold to be right there.
Oh, that makes sense. And it's actually... Oh, wait, Baron, you finish
Yes. So let's
kind of
talk.
making your pitch?
Sure.
Yeah.
yes. Let us.
I love all these, like, this intrigue going on the
Yeah, I
table.
want
It's
to finish
great.
up a little thing with Isolde.
Okay,
too.
we'll have that, and then
Okay.
that's going to go down.
So you may have met a gentleman by the name of Vlad.
The Count?
Yes.
The Count, isn't it? Yeah.
He has great interest in the boy, and I'm sure one of our companions has told you that there might be an accident. So I would like you to help my master.
And this is all in order to take over the Ordo Sanguis, right? He told me a little bit about that.
That is correct. If possible, I may be able to, if we are successful, I can definitely put in a good word for you.
Tempting. Can you promise me one thing about...
Me? I can certainly try.
No, alright. You, because I doubted Lord Dracula will actually talk to me or anything. I want Lord Clackett dead. Like, straight up dead.
Ooh.
Because I think if I kill him, either myself or the majority of my crew is going to move on.
Well,
Mostly my crew. Don't really care for myself in this situation, but them, they need to move on.
I can definitely assist you in that.
Right,
I
sure.
have no goodwill towards Mr. Claggett.
Very well, sure. Get yourself a deal.
Whoa. All right, it's gonna be an official day.
And I'm going to link to the camera.
Oh, it's not an official. All right. You know what? I want
If I can,
Actually, hold on.
Is there a
Captain.
deception
There is.
check?
I want you
if
to.
I can do a deception. on
Yes, I want you to roll
Mislead.
with mine for mislead, distract, or trick.
Also,
Oh,
would,
can
would
I
that
use-
be coming to ask me for a favor?
Well, it's gonna be. I would say if it would be a dead, but like he's not. He's
It's not
lying.
really a dead, but would that put him in my web?
It would in that case, but he's not really
He's
doing
not
it.
really doing it.
He's
Okay.
lying. We're gonna see if you notice though. So why don't
He's
you roll?
lying
can
like a
also use-
lying liar.
Yeah.
And I can use my move, won't be ignored, since mislead, distract, or
Oh, you're right.
trick someone. Yeah,
It's
that
in the
is-
spirit of it.
it's
Pun
in the
intended.
spirit.
All right.
Alright, so it roll with spirit.
Whew.
That is a 13.
Okay, you buy it, Marin.
Very well.
So you can write like fake captain in your web. He's not really in your web though. All right.
You can't see me at all, so you can't see me wink.
But the audience can.
Jekyll is
Can I do
Yeah, there's
yeah,
I
he's
think
mixing up some chemicals. He's yelling at the students in a voice that is strangely ferocious indeed.
yeah, I'm just outside the door, but still able to walk into the door at any moment.
Okay.
There are very large forces at work right now, and I have every intention of moving against them, but now is not the time to do so.
If you don't take an active stand in the open, in front of all adversity, against the things that you do not like and things you work against, then who's going to do it? I am staying out in the open. My life is. I will risk giving my life to help other people, especially keeping magic out of the hands of people who would do terrible, terrible things with it. I've seen things that I shouldn't have seen. I know what's out there, and that veil between us and everything else is very thin. It is always a knife cut away. So I won't let anybody abuse magic while I am still holding breath. So I know you are working on our side, but at the same time, I'm sorry, I can't take your word at face value. I'll trust you, but I'm always be down in the moment. I'm sorry. I walk back into the room and kind of just step back inside to keep up with
Can I
everything.
count that as a moment of intimacy?
Oh, I think so.
I also do want to count it as a moment of intimacy as well.
So I know
Two
where you
shared
are.
intimacies.
And I care about you, so you're going to take -1 ongoing to any escape.
I'm going to take -1 ongoing to escape.
To escape.
That's a weird way to carry
I
Yeah.
know.
somebody.
I know. It's that. When you share a moment of intimacy, physical or emotional, with another person, decide whether you care about them or not. If you don't, they go about their business as normal. If I do care about you, they take -1 ongoing to escape until they get some intimacy elsewhere. That's just permanent until she gets another intimate moment.
Interesting.
That's-
So you might want to take a note of that.
Yeah, it's only for one move. The
escape.
Yeah.
escape situation.
And
And a situation you might want to escape is going on right now because Jekyll, he's starting to mix some chemicals together, but these are the ones that Renfield messed up.
There's so much backstabbing and scheming around, and Pierce just has people that wants to kill him.
Yeah, well, I know Livingston, who is so far the most moral, I think, of everybody here, is the one who's always rolling like twos on the people know him, so they all hate
my
him.
big overall plan just now.
Wait till I roll again.
I appreciate it.
Oh no.
I know what you're up to. I'm glad. But I'm not the person who hides in the dark and the shadows. That's not who I am.
Well, here's the problem. The chemicals create a weird, like, reddish, pulsing cloud. Jekyll's like, oh no, I didn't mean to get that mixed together.
Can I actually use my let it out? I'm going to use the magic that's within me, and I'm going to teleport that substance away.
Okay.
I'm going to try to use my let it out because I have teleportation as one of my spells.
See, last time it was me interfering with the plot.
No, I like it.
You got someone new.
Hey, that's why I do RPGs. If I wanted a plot that like didn't, that the characters didn't just ruin, I would just write stories myself.
Don't you already?
Which I do. You're right.
Are you next to me?
I'm in the room with you.
You're in the room. All right, you have advanced let it out since I'm a conduit.
Jeez. Can I do this?
Yeah. Let me see what happens here.
How the hell is that?
I think even if I interfered,
That's a 12.
So,
even if I interfered, it wouldn't.
That's a 10 plus 2, 12.
so like
okay.
conduits.
So,
That's like-
the chemical cloud descends onto Lord Longears. He starts to, his poor rabbit starts to change, but then you were able to teleport the substance outside. And I suppose there's going to be a mutant giant.
I'm actually going to teleport it to another dimension and make it permanent and mark a corruption.
Wow. Alright, never mind.
Like I said, the veil between realms is very thin.
Do you want Cthulhu's? Because this is how you get Cthulhu's.
I know, but I saw
Tearing
I saw
open
the
down
advance.
yes.
I can mark a corruption and make the effect permanent. So here I am, just like I'm gonna teleport it away, and then suddenly another dimension, and it stays.
Well, I'm glad it didn't get onto Lord Longears. She didn't teleport a rabbit into another dimension.
Oh no, I thought it was after I hit Lord Longears, so I teleport the rabbit to another
Okay,
dimension.
never mind. Yeah, the rabbit's gone.
I did mention earlier, not for long, with the rabbit still being
The
here.
children very upset. The class pet has disappeared.
Ah, the rabbit. Why did you have to do the rabbit?
It was unexpected. I didn't know it was gonna happen that way.
Jekyll says he's about to like back away from the rabbit in terror, and he's like, "Oh, it disappeared. What a stroke of luck."
Well
You're a
done, my good
magician.
man.
I suppose rabbits have a tendency to do that sort of thing. So Renfield comes back, and when he stops, because the distraction he was expecting is not there. So you can all kind of notice the shifty groundskeeper appearing in the doorway, looking around, and then like starting to slink away. You're waving him away, Marin. Yeah, he sees that. He's like, mission abort, and just leaves.
Can I follow after him and see if I can try to find a stray hair that he may leave behind in his hurried pace?
Why don't you roll? I would just like figure someone out. So roll mind for that. Livingston.
Can I take a look at
That's a 12.
Okay, yeah.
Plus
very nice
one.
rolls? Can I take a look at the substances to see if I can figure out what went wrong or assist Jekyll in any which way?
Yeah, he's trying to like kind of recover and put it together. He's just like, class dismissed. Just keep getting everybody out of there. Do you have a veteran move for this, or is this like?
No, I just was.
All right,
was
why don't
curious
you
to check it
roll?
out.
I would say this is mind.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be a mind roll.
Perhaps it would link to my true artist, seeing what he's creating. But no. Good lord.
We've all rolled like 11 to 12, and he's rolled 2, 2, and
Twos,
3.
I know all the luck left you, Dallas, and went to them.
Come back to me when.
Jekyll does appreciate it. He does give you, as sort of a payment. He does give you like he's like, here's a little something I've been working on. It may come in handy. He gives you a little tube. It allows one to act with in an unrestrained manner. I found it quite useful myself.
Impressive.
So he gives you some of that substance, but you're not totally sure what it does.
Thank you as always.
Is there something I can roll to observe that particular handoff?
Why don't you roll Jekyll's Faction of Wild?
Okay.
I'm so glad that worked.
7.
Okay. You know Jekyll gave something to him, but you're not sure what. Okay, so class is dismissed. Most of the kids are either heading back to their dormitories to relax, doing a little cricket outside.
Question before that. I did roll a 12, 13 for my figure someone out to try to get a piece of his hair or something.
Oh yes, yeah, you got the hair. Yeah.
Cool. Good. I'm going to put it in a vial and keep it stowed hidden on my
Okay.
person.
You can mark down you have like Renfield's hair. if
Oh,
you
I
want.
did. Oh, I did.
Awesome. All right, so there's a little bit of a break here.
I'm going to go back to Maris. Marin, sorry.
Fine.
The way I wrote the N looks like an S, and I like Frasier. I go back to Marin. So that didn't go very well.
Seems your friend is not as helpful as I was hoping.
Yes, she does seem to be a bit of a sticky wicket right now.
I'm American.
They ruin everything.
I do.
Still, she means a great deal to me, and I don't want her to come to any harm, if at all possible.
I can see what I can do.
Be most appreciated.
So would that be now? Question outside. So this would be a favor.
Yeah, I would count that as a favor. I can be in your web, and I'm also counting it as an intimacy move from me, because I'm sharing something emotional with you.
Okay.
Well,
And this time you can write real
Yeah.
Roxanne if you want, or just Roxanne.
Does that mean I go to the negative?
Yeah, you do.
Sweet. I did a very bad reason for it though, because now I'm in debt to a vampire.
Yeah.
It's not good.
mm-hmm.
Whose
No,
fault is
that's.
that?
But it's to keep
It's to keep
Assault
you
safe.
safe.
I know. I don't know this. Me the player. Thank you. Me the character. No idea that happened.
Yes.
So I don't know what being in your web means.
It's basically I get +1 ongoing to lend a hand or get in the way of your efforts, and I add a question to figure someone out. What is your character's true hunger?
Well, when
Yeah.
do you ask that now?
No.
Right.
Whenever he
Whenever.
rolls.
When I deal with you.
Okay.
So
And because I shared an intimacy with you,
Mhm.
I have a bond with you, and I know where you are in the next game when you're in trouble.
Does mine not go away, or you still have mine as well?
No, I still have yours too.
Okay.
okay.
So that's both of you now. I'll know where you are if you're in trouble.
I have Renfield's hair. That son of a bitch isn't getting away.
So a few things happen. First of all, Willkie goes kind of wandering off by himself.
Dang it. Do I know where he... Am I with him at least?
Yeah, he's not trying to hide or anything. He's just kind of keeping to himself. And when he notices you're back, he's like, did you or one of your friends, did they get rid of Lord Longears?
Sometimes interdimensional portals between the planes open and swallow up rapids to God knows where. These things happen.
Oh.
It's a fact of life. I'm sure wherever he is, he's in a better place.
He's now rabbit flirking.
Is there a place that once you have the child you plan to abscond him to?
That I wasn't told. That was our friend, well, my friend, a Mr. Renfield, the wiry fellow that you saw.
Find out where he is and bring him to the cricket field.
I think I can do that.
Okay, good.
Ooh, okay.
Willkie,
Oh, yes?
there's very pressing business for you now. You will come with me.
Well, I don't believe I should just
You
go.
gotta study, say you gotta study.
I must study. I have my studies to deal with, and besides, I am Lord Willkie Wallace Wintersmith of the House of Wintersmith, and people cannot just order me around. In fact, I should be the one ordering you around.
Yes, she's only such a lowly dame.
Indeed. Why don't you go to the stables and see to the horses?
Lord Willkie, although I happen to
What
be a
did your
game,
parents teach you?
They're dead. They didn't teach him anything.
That's how lords act, is it not?
Lord Willkie, are you familiar with my father,
So we got rid of all of them.
the Lord of Eskdale?
It sounds to me like you're trying to drop someone's name.
I am, and I don't know what to roll on that.
Okay, so you're
Drop a
gonna roll
name bomb.
Well, your faction is knight, so your father's faction will probably be the same one.
Sure.
So roll with knight.
Okay.
So,
That is a 7.
Okay. So he will listen to you, but you will owe him a debt.
That's fine.
Okay.
So I owe Lord Willkie a debt.
Yeah, Lord Willkie Wallace Winter. You can just say Lord Willkie. Will know.
Wintersmith.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Willkie Wallace.
Wintersmith.
So is he Lord Wintersmith then?
Yeah, but I mean, he's a young lord, so.
Well, it's
Everyone just calls him Willkie.
Lord.
He's yet to come into his own, I guess.
Well, she does have some clout, so I guess it's best, go with her for now.
It's fine. You can keep an
You
eye on
are aware of my father, yes? She leans down very close to him. She's doing a full-on, fucking bad teacher thing.
Oh, okay. He's like, I may have heard of the name.
Are you aware that he has the royal disease and that such things are hereditary?
I suppose it has come to my parents' attention. They may have mentioned it once or twice.
before they died.
Then don't you think it would be rather bad to have somebody like me cross at you?
You can tell he's scared, but he's still trying to be brave. And he's like, well,
Good kid.
I should have you know that I am best friends with a ghost. And this ghost, though my parents are gone, this ghost will protect me, so be aware of that.
Is he a pirate ghost?
He's the ghost of a brave British sailor.
He is the ghost of a Spaniard brigand.
I did tell you I was on the opposite side.
Even better. He's a pirate. He fights dirty.
He's like, well,
And if there's anyone you want protecting you, it's someone who fights
And then
dirty.
she straightens up very proper and British. Whereas I served Queen Victoria in India.
so he's like, well, what do you want?
Simply to accompany me.
I'm actually
Well-
going to go up next to him.
Oh, it's this fellow. Hello.
Hello. If you follow the young lady, I may be able to procure something of great interest to you. And I would like to use irresistible to persuade him to go with her.
Okay.
Using promises.
All right. He does say, well, I do
And
have to
this-
go to the butterfly catching in a
I'm
little
going
bit.
to use won't be ignored on this as well.
Okay.
Well, how'd you do?
7, 8. That's an 8, which I'd treat as a 10 plus.
Can I assist him?
I don't think you need to with the 10 plus.
Okay.
With
Um,
Only
he's
getting
like-
away.
I suppose I will go with you, but my ghost.
Can you
Well,
drop?
it matters not if he was a British sailor or
It's
a
a
pirate.
10
He is my
plus
friend.
without rolling on a PC, but I don't know if that's actually going to help here.
What if I tried to help also get in the way by acting as his governess?
I do have adept with you, so you can cash in the debt with me.
Give him a +3.
Would that how that work?
Let me see.
I
We're
don't know.
going to come back to you in a second. I know
owe
this.
you-
All this intrigue is like real whizzing around you here. So
I know, it's okay.
I was gonna try to with his automatic 10 plus on whether it gets a PC correct for won't be ignored for trying to get in the way, correct?
Yeah.
So bring it down to his roll is an 8.
Mm-hmm.
You can bring it down to a 6.
Yes.
That means he fails.
Yes.
But on a miss, my machinations succeed as though it was rolled a 7 and 9, but attract the attention of my rivals or enemies.
Well,
I'm okay with that personally. I'll take any assistance we can get, especially
So
from.
you'll automatically succeed on the interference? Okay.
Yes.
No, I believe you. I just...
Okay. So I'm going to say he will accompany you two to the cricket fields. However, you, and of course, because you're already there, but Livingston and Assault are aware of it.
Okay.
So he follows you to the cricket field. But he's like, I should let you know that I'm to go butterfly catching in just a moment.
Yes,
And I
I'm
need
sure
to-
Professor Cooper would love to
I
see
need
you.
to
as well.
prepare and get my straw hat and all that.
Of course.
We can accompany you. We're actually Professor Livingstone and I are his Crumble's assistants.
Oh.
So we may join you and keep you company. Make sure you get there on time and
well, thank you.
and maybe even give you a personal introduction to the good professor.
Thank you. It's always good to have friends. You know that a ghost pirate captain is one of my friends.
Do you know what? Here's the funny thing is, it's also my
The
friend.
important thing when catching butterflies is to make sure to be quite gentle with it so you don't damage their wings.
Oh, you're right. I know.
Tell us more about this ghost pirate roll.
Yes.
Sounds like an interesting.
We all move from the scene.
So you all head over to the cricket field. Well, I think
love
we'll get
how-
back to that.
I love the scene where everyone's moving to the cricket field and just glaring at everyone.
Yeah,
giving
they're like,
everyone a slap.
Yeah, this is getting around. This is how we end friendships, in-game character friendships, not
Yes.
real life ones.
Yes, thankfully. So
No, you have Mario Party for that.
You're not wrong.
So true. All right.
The magic of tearing community apart.
I thought that was just Catan.
You guys, ooh, that can end some friendships. You guys arrive at the cricket field. It is kind of off to the side of the complex, or the set of buildings, in this expanse of kind of dead grass, all surrounded by mist, and there is sort of a shadowy bog off to the side of it, where the butterfly catching will occur in a little bit. Not Frogston Field, or Frog Patch Field, it's called. Not the safest place. And I'm sure so many cricket balls, wickets, whatever, have been lost in there. And maybe some students too.
So,
I'm an American, I don't know that's
yeah.
So you did cash in the debt with me, right?
I don't think we did, no, because it doesn't really matter, because even with your automatic success, it brought his down to a 6, which allows him to exceed, but we all know about what's going on.
Gotcha.
His enemies know about it. Hence why we're all here and knowledgeable of the situation.
Alright, so
we're still in...
level up.
Yeah, you still have...
Alright, so Roxanne, what's the... What are you trying to do here?
I'm trying to get this kid abducted in a more safe manner than exploding laboratories and making giant freaking scenes. She wanted to take the kid to a place that's pretty out of the way, have this Renfield fellow here,
and I think on our way I was actually going to see if I could escape the situation and find Renfield.
Oh, and contact Renfield? Okay, yeah, because I was like, Renfield doesn't know about this. But I see that was your plan. Alright.
Yes.
Give me escape the situation.
Plus blood, right?
Plus blood. Yeah.
Escape the situation, yes, it's plus blood. How'd you do
as a
that?
vampire.
It's a 10.
Oh, that makes sense.
I could get in the way again, but I've already done that once.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah, I would say... I mean...
Sorry.
Yeah, I would say, with a 10, you're able to slip away from the crowd. You're just kind of vanishing into the mist.
Mm-hmm.
So, you go over and find Renfield, who was just like sucking the marrow out of like a vole over by the groundskeeper's shed.
Renfield, my good man.
Yes!
God, what a ghoul. Such a ghoulish figure. I'm upset by this guy.
We have another opportunity to...
The master will be so pleased.
But we seem to have some opposition. I must say that I was promised to leave one of them unharmed. So I would appreciate it if you would keep that promise. Help me keep that promise.
He says, well, that is what the master wishes as well. But the book he carries is perhaps the most important thing. And he's the one who can read it. So we need both.
Interesting.
Very well. We'll take him into the marsh. That's where the master will find us.
Well, then I will see you in the cricket fields.
How far are the cricket fields from the marsh?
Right next door.
That's what you had said. So.
Yeah, correct. So he goes to head off kind of in the marsh area. So at the cricket fields, a few things are going on. Actually, Professor Crumbles is there, getting all these like butterfly nets set up. So he spots you amongst this other group, and
Professor Crumbles.
Oh, Roxanne, you are here.
Yes, this very lucky child is going to get to help you assemble the butterfly nets.
Oh, yes, very good. Come here, Willkie.
Yes, this is, you know of him then, I'm guessing?
Yes.
He's a bright and talented young boy.
You see, Willkie, this is why you listen to adults when they ask you to do something. You might get a reward out of it.
Willkie's like, well, very well. I'll see if I can put these together. And he joins Crumbles and starts. But Crumbles, of course, kind of abandons him and goes over to you, Livingston. Livingston, what are you doing here?
Well,
I get my Crumbles voice.
you see, Rufus.
What are you doing here?
Well, Rufus, here actually on a medical oversight. There's some things we have to check out in this facility of the Bludgeon Hall Academy. So there's some possible connections between magic and physical illness that I'm checking out.
Oh.
Yeah, can I come over and try to... I want to get Professor Crumbles back in his good grace by burning... Actually, I emote him. No, never mind.
Okay.
Ignore that.
You could lend a hand. Let's have you roll
No.
persuade an NPC.
All right, I'm gonna.
Or actually, maybe mislead this. I mean, you're lying to him. So,
True.
be mislead, I think.
Okay, all right. As I say, I
So
have
roll
one more
mine.
debt that I was willing to burn on that. But I
Oh, you
won't.
could burn a debt with him if you want to.
No, but if it's for mislead, I don't think I can. So I'll roll mislead. Trying to keep it.
Right.
Keep it honest.
So are you burning the debt or?
I thought I could only do that for persuade
Okay.
because it's yeah. It's
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
So mind. I'll take that. I need something tonight. 8.
Okay.
Hey.
I'll take it. Yeah.
All right, you just pick 2. You could confuse him for a while.
So yeah, I think we'll take the opportunity from whatever we can get, or at least me, for him to be distracted, or maybe for us to come in and say her thing. But yeah, an opportunity of some kind. And then I would like to avoid any further entanglement with this guy for at least the remainder of this.
All right. Crumbles, yeah, swing by us. He's not gonna bother you again about it. And he's like, well, that's very, very, very kind of you to take such care for some of our England's younger citizens. There.
Youth is the future.
Indeed, I thought it was mummies, but I suppose children have their role to play as well. Speaking of which, let's see if Willkie is. And they look back, and Willkie is not there.
I'm going to use my. I'm going to burn.
Misty, he's kind of not. He's not there by the butterfly nets.
Where'd he go?
I'm going to burn a
Did
hole.
any of us see that happen? Or what? What's going on? I'm so confused.
I was probably watching him.
Why don't, if you wish to see what happened, why don't you roll with his factions? Roll with mortality.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think, unless you have a special move that lets you know where he is at all the time, like a.
Oh yeah.
I did not share an intimacy move with him.
I
Okay.
can just
Okay, 5.
teleport to where he is.
Oh, right. Yeah, you do then. So you know where he is.
I don't know.
Just-
I
I
rolled a
don't know what
5.
happened.
Okay.
But I'm
10.
going to burn.
That's what
So I know where he is.
Yes, you do. He is in the.
Oh my god!
What happened
You
there?
rolled a 3!
Oh,
2
no.
1!
All right.
Oh man, that's just some bad luck,
Okay,
dude.
So the only,
bad
one
I'm
luck's
gonna burn
bad.
those dice.
the only one that knows where he is the vampire.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Diego.
Because-
And I'm gonna-
because he just
Captain
teleported.
Diego teleports to where he is.
I'm gonna
So,
burn one of my holds to know
Oh.
exactly where Renfield is, or that ghoulish figure that I saw earlier, because I have
Alright.
the tracking spell.
oh yes, okay. Renfield is creeping around from like the side. He's kind of coming in from like the flank of the cricket fields. What happened to Willkie, and that you noticed, is that Rupert Pupley, the head boy, he comes over and he's like, "Come this way. I went to Smith School of Business," and just sort of hauls him into the marsh.
No.
Oh, well.
And you teleport right next to him, and you find.
I was already doing that.
Rip. Dracula's impatient.
Well, this might not be Dracula. This might be Pupley.
Pupley. Pupley is actually disguised. He's
Yeah,
a monster.
As soon as I notice, I'm following them.
All right.
So.
So you appear just as Pupley says, Wintersmith, I know that book is your parents, and it served them rather ill, didn't it? Getting them cut up as they tried to summon a ghostie. Wouldn't want that happening to you, would it? And he's like, you mustn't take the book. And he's like, well, my boy, I'm afraid you don't have any choice. I think I'll have to rip you up just a little bit, as these ghosted your parents. And he socks poor Willkie, knocking him down, picks up the book, and starts flipping through it, being like, now,
Can I
This
let
goes-
it out?
Probably
by
I
any
wouldn't do
chance?
that if I were you.
oh, you're a foreigner. I am an Englishman. I'm sure I can summon all manner of wonderful,
No.
long dead spirits to serve me and make them their king.
Yes, but I may be a foreigner, but I know some very powerful people.
Yes, well, once I have an army of ghosts and ghouls at my back, I will be one of those powerful people.
Pupley's just
Pupley.
Father says that foreigners always should do as Englishmen tell them.
Lovely.
Well,
First
then.
of all, I would like you to be quiet, and second of all, if you do as I say, I may be able to help you in many endeavors with said powerful people.
Ooh, let's hold off a second, because I think Captain Diego really wants something here.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a corruption point to manifest fully heard, seen, and cut and touch.
Whoa, okay.
And that levels up my corruption.
Yo! How many is that now?
Just 2 corruption
Oh,
moves
man.
right now.
All right,
I'm gonna
so
take the
on
tainted
the
man
road.
just below the surface, which means I can assume a demon form without a roll and gain all the options stated.
Oh shit!
Wow. So I mean, I know it's not. I don't know. So this might not be like the demon form from like that we know and love. What form do you think you manifest as? Like, what does this look like?
It's going to look kind of crustacean-like.
Whoa.
Okay, Davy Jones.
Yeah, that's very good for the the nautical theme here.
Crustacean-like, kind of got like a shell feather in his hat. Yeah, crab claws, lobster claws,
Whoa.
chitinous armor.
Willkie's like, my best friend's a lobster ghost pirate. And then let's have, I
You made
think.
a mistake, lad.
Whoa. All right, let's have our vampire who's there, and then we'll see what Roxanne can sniff out what's going on here. You're gonna be able to hear what's going on in a second, so.
6.
Yeah. Well, there were things that I wanted to do the moment that kid disappeared.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let me just say what's happening in here in the marsh, and then I'll pop back to you at the cricket field with these two, and maybe Redfield as well. All right. So you are not able to convince Pupley, who starts.
Well,
Whoa, what's that?
with the irresistible, it's a 7 to 9, but with the added attention of the enemies or rebels.
Okay.
I think we all see this.
All right. So what gets your attention is that Pupley starts reading loudly from the book. You all hear Pupley's voice, as well as his gasp of surprise as this crustacean monster appears. But he's trying to summon some monsters of his own, and they start bursting out of the marsh, which was like some ancient Britannic Pict battlefield back in the day. So a bunch of these like bog skeletons start creeping their way out of the muck.
You are such a fool.
I'm not a fool! And they start advancing on all concerned. Pupley's magic, of course, not able to hold them. Roxanne.
Okay, so Roxanne's transformation takes a little while and it hurts like hell. So the moment the kids disappeared, she started her transformation up. And it has to kind of be like, I needed to get that in because if she's going to be wolfy by the time this encounter's happening,
Right.
she needed to start a while ago.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I've been trying to like
No,
say it for
there's a lot going on in the woods.
Yeah.
We'll backtrack a bit and say you were able to do that.
Okay, I'm going to do a let it out to try to do this.
Okay.
Because, yeah, when the kid disappeared, I'm not comfortable with that because the people that I knew were going to abduct the kid are right there, so.
Fortunately, no advance let it out.
It really worked well for me though. Ooh.
Is that?
Yeah, she does not manage to do it. She tries and it hurts and she stops.
Oh no! All right, you may have to deal with this not in wolf form for the first time.
Yeah, she is not wolfing out. She tries and it's like so unbelievably painful. She's just like, forget it.
All right.
But she is going to try to track kids down with the bloodhound feed, which is when I hunt somebody, which means I have to declare a hunt now. So that's going to be a corruption point. Roll with blood on a hit. You know exactly where to find them and can follow the scent until you do. So I'm taking a corruption to start the hunt for Willkie.
All right, give me your roll, and then we'll see what Livingston is up to. You all hear the cries of Willkie and Pupley as well.
But I'm pretty much up to.
Yeah. Is the bog, the picked skeletons.
The blood is, that's 6, so that's still 7. So on a hit, I know where they are and how to find them and can follow their scent. I don't get to take a +1 forward against Willkie.
Okay, that's fair. But you know where he is. You're able to you smell his the scent of fear.
Right.
And I believe if you're intimacy, you also know that I'm there.
That actually I think takes place next game.
Next game? Okay.
Let me double check my intimacy roll.
Yeah.
All right. So Livingston, you hear the cry as well.
Oh no, it's until the end of next
Or actually,
session.
Roxanne.
So yes, I know where you are.
Maybe you probably have to roll to try and find him. But Roxanne, you dash into the or what are you doing the information about where he is? Are you writing to him?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to. I can smell where he is, the kid.
Yeah.
I can smell your fear, child. And I know that you're there with him because I know where you are at all times. Mm-hmm. And you are both here in the field with me.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna try to escape the situation.
You're just gonna try and leave, or
without them seeing me. Yes.
Okay, I see. So without these two seeing you.
Yes.
All right. Roll the escape.
Okay. So let's see. That's plus blood, so that's an 8. So on a hit I get away. So I got away. On a 17 I have to choose 2. I will say I leave something important behind, which is something that you can use to track me. You seem to have that sort of ability.
Yeah.
Some wolf hair.
I also know
I mean,
what
it wouldn't be wolf hair.
Right.
Just like her hair.
Hair.
I also heard them screaming over there, but still.
Let's see. And I'm going to give into my base nature and mark corruption.
Okay. So Livingston, she jets off. You can't quite see where she goes.
Okay, so
But you two are alone in that
Yeah.
lonely cricket field.
But
with
we heard
Professor
them screaming
Crumbles.
though.
Right,
That is true.
I'm gonna turn to her and say, as I pull out my newly polished, compensated, and butted pistol, because I had to compensate for last time's failures. That's what it's gonna do. It doesn't really do anything. It's just all flavor. But anyway,
Right.
I say, just like last time in the Temple of Thoth.
Hope with a better ending.
Yes, you and me. I believe in that way. That child reads a little too loud. Don't you think?
Yes, unfortunately. Especially when you're doing incantations. Never a great idea if you don't know what you're doing.
So you guys jet off. Also, you'll get there right after.
I'm also
Roxanne
surprised. No, never mind. This is. I'll talk about it later.
Okay. So,
I am going to grab the hair that she left behind and put into a
all
file.
right, that'll help you. So maybe in the future too. So you'll appear second. You'll appear first, but you two are already there. So Marin, what are you doing?
Can I actually spend a hold to teleport
actually-
as well?
Oh, never mind. Okay, you appear right as Roxanne appears.
That's cool.
Teleporting right in.
Sorry, buddy. I left you behind.
Livingston's bringing
like,
up. Livingston's bringing up the rear. All right, Marin,
Keep on
what are you
running,
doing?
buddy. Keep on running.
These pig skeletons
Military
are closing in,
training,
attacking everybody. Pupley's freaking out. Wilkie's freaking out. You got a ghost crustacean man.
Ghost crustacean pirate.
Yeah, it's the whole thing.
Diego, if you want this child alive, I would suggest you would suggest you deal with these summons.
So long as the child is alive, that he doesn't get hurt, I'm not going to associate with any group that does harm to the innocents.
I can promise you the child will not be harmed.
How can I trust you on that? Especially with that person you associate with. That man is creepy.
That man has been more help to me than anyone in this world. And I'm actually going, I would believe, an intimacy move.
Oh, okay.
Or if you're trying to persuade me.
That's both.
Yeah.
So I'm... Yeah. So moment of intimacy. So I'm telling you, this is a moment of emotional intimacy. I am telling you that Dracula has been more help to me in my life, however long it has been, than you know. He may be creepy, so you say, but he has more cunning, although that may not be helpful, but he's very... What's the word? He's very good to those he shows interest in and those he cares about.
And I can tell you're not lying on that.
No.
Interesting. I think he was talking about Renfield being the creepy one. But,
Yeah,
I mean, Dracula's
Renfield.
pretty creepy himself, though.
I meant Dracula. He's alright.
Well, Renfield is very creepy, but
Yes.
he has good intentions.
Does he? He just wants to eat living things.
Yeah.
So, at this point, while you're chatting, those nasty old the Picts have grabbed. They're like around Pupley, and they're closing in on Willkie, getting their like these old like rusted out bronze spears and axes and so on. So, Captain Diego.
So now you're actually in my
Unless you
way.
still wanted to do something first.
Oh,
I just
okay.
thought we were going like clockwise.
Well, I'm just kind of being like, who's there? So, it'd be like you, then Roxanne, then Assault, then bring up the rear, Livingston.
Well, we'll figure this out after these things are taken care of. So I'm going to take my axe, which is also transformed. It has shark teeth now.
Yes.
I love it.
And I'm going to try and chop down the ones closest to Willkie and the other kid. What's his name? The one that screwed everything up.
Pupley.
Yeah.
He's the
Puppy
head
stuff.
boy. All right, so give me a let it out.
Let it out.
Or, sorry, unleash an attack.
Unleash attack. Right. It won't good with me. Seriously?
Not good.
Not good at all. 5.
Ooh, okay. So you're going to do some damage. The problem is, I mean, these picked skeletons are ghosts. They're going to do a little damage to you as well.
Yeah,
So-
even playing field.
Yeah, so you're going to take, I'm going to say, a faint harm. The bad thing, though, is that they get Willkie.
I do have 1 armor for my demon form.
Oh, okay. So the armor takes care of that.
Okay.
So you're good. However, the real bad thing is some of them like grab Willkie and start hauling him away into the muck.
No, Willkie.
Oh, Roxanne. Oh, sorry. We'll get back to you, Marion. That's fine. Roxanne, Iseult, Livingston, then back to you.
Blah, blah, blah. Is there any kind of move I can do to get up to Willkie and grab him, pull him away?
Let's have it be. There's not only one for like rescue an NPC.
There isn't.
Yeah, there isn't like in Mask, because you're not supposed to save anybody.
We're
Yeah.
not superheroes.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you roll blood and see how you do?
Okay.
Could be a variation of escape a situation.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, escape the
Because
situation.
it's to help him escape the situation.
All right, let's
Right.
do it.
There you go.
Hey, that's a 10.
Nice.
Awesome. Okay.
So I do have to still pick 1, but let's see.
Yeah, just one from
I
that
do manage
list.
to get him away.
Yes.
I will go ahead and suffer a harm.
Okay, so take 1 level of harm.
Yeah.
As one of these picks, like a Stone Age or Bronze Age spear, gets like jabbed in your back.
Okay.
A spear, yeah.
I really would like to be a wolf right now.
Iseult.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
wait,
try.
Marin, am I
No, it's
interrupting you?
perfectly
Okay.
fine. I was just gonna pull out the weapon that I have, which I like the parasol. No, I had a cane on me the entire time.
Sword cane?
And it's a sword cane.
Oh, of course, gotta have that sword
Excellent.
cane.
Nice.
So,
I think I also have a sword cane.
Oh man, everyone's got sword canes.
I have a sword. So.
Every cane is a sword.
Just
yeah, that's
Yeah.
sort of like
Right through.
carrying around like an old sword. But it's
I don't
just,
think-
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Mine's
just
more
off
like-
the
more
bottom.
like a
It's
very
actually
large
really
virtual
cool to
dagger.
see. It's off the bottom.
I'm actually going to try to snag the book from Poppins or
Ooh,
Puffins.
Puppy. Wait, not puppy.
Popley.
Popley,
And
yeah.
attempt to use the book to exert control over these undead.
Ooh, okay. So give me unleash an attack. So let's be taking someone from them. So give me unleash an attack on the terrified Puppy.
That's a 9.
Okay. So you can take one, and then you get to have one of these. You can find yourself in a bad spot, or take some harm from the Picts.
I'm going to take something from them, and then I'll take harm.
All right. I would say you get faint harm, which is going to be an arrow grazes you. But you got the book.
Does she still have the 1? Does she still have that plus? The
Oh,
one-
hold
the
on.
one
Yes,
thing?
you still have the plus in
So
the plan.
you could choose to take away this harm completely if you want to, or save your like a +1 per roll later or something. You have an option.
I'll take the armor. I'll use the +1 to prevent that harm.
Ooh,
so there you
okay.
go. So there's your
Yeah.
old.
Awesome. The arrow
Something's
misses
gonna
you.
happen.
But I have the book. I'm
Probably
cool.
the
with
Okay,
that.
you got the book. Livingston.
Probably didn't need.
Right now, like the Willkie is still kind of like she's managed to pull him away, but he's like kind of sprawled over on the ground, and these Picts are still like scrambling towards him.
Oh, I hope that I had him in my arms.
Oh yeah, we got there, but like the Picts are all coming towards you. So that yes, that's how it is.
So I'll like come in, I guess, breathing pretty damn heavy.
Shape. Yeah,
And
an older,
yes.
you're an older guy. You're not used to this.
Yeah, middle age at least, from what you can see, and I'll just sort of like run in and then I guess drop to a knee for more support, and then take a shot at the closest thing that seems like it's harming. First off, any children, like the child, and then second, anyone else in the group. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna say, give me an unleash an attack.
Come on. That is 7. Gigs of blood, right?
Yeah, it's not bad.
So,
All right, so you were able to take something or inflict terrible harm on these skeletons.
I'll do the harm to try to take them out, because
Ooh.
the less they're around.
How much harm does your revolver do?
3, so that's one. That's another 1, so it's 4 total.
Okay. There are a lot of these things, but your pistol fires some big old nasty bullets and it rips through like a whole bunch.
Sweet.
So you just like blast a huge hole through it. And you would take harm as a result, or put yourself in a bad spot?
I will. I guess I'll put myself in that situation because, I'm supposed to probably always be in a bad situation.
That makes sense. Well, yeah, one of these picks comes bursting out from behind a tree, flanking you with its big old battle axe raised.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
all
good.
right.
Yeah.
Marin.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take my cane sword and go towards Roxanne and the child and the Lord, and just try and do as much damage as I can to the pigs.
Okay.
6, 7. It's a 9.
All right. You need to pick one from the top, take something from, inflict terrible harm, and then you gotta take one from the bottom. You might take a hit, or get in a bad situation, which will be. Well, I'll let you know what it is. You pick it. I got an idea.
I am going to let's inflict the harm. So my sword is 3 harm and messy apparently, which I'm not sure what that is.
You get covered in skeleton. You get covered in bog skeleton guts.
Which means that
Pretty
not the
gross.
first time.
This means your
Not
action
clean
just means
kills,
that it's literally messy.
No clean.
No, that's
Yeah.
You slice through a whole bunch of them. There's not
Using
that many.
chainsaw.
There's not that many left at this point. So.
Okay.
Everyone
Yeah.
gets covered.
And then I guess
What'd you do for the second option?
do.
Take some damage in return.
I think I can take some damage.
All right, you get 1 level of faint harm, which is you get axed. A vampire, not so bad, but you get an axe wedge in your side. All right, that brings us to Captain.
And not useful.
Oh, right, sorry, assault.
Oh, I had
You
the
got
book.
the book now,
I
yeah.
had the book. Didn't think I'd get this far. Okay. The skeleton's left, right?
Just a few left, but
Um,
more.
Did I not get a turn?
Do we skip you?
You grabbed the boy. I think
You
no,
grabbed the
because
boy
what happened
and
was that it
already
went
in.
all around to me, and then we jumped back to him. So I think it's back to
So is
Right.
Diego.
Because
Okay.
I always thought it was going to be going.
Yeah,
but we did a kind of weird jump around.
Different order. All right,
Because
Captain.
I know like
So it is my turn.
You are next.
it was Diego, Roxanne, me.
Yeah, just because I knew
Yeah.
that I hadn't gone yet and you'd gone after me. So.
Yeah,
Right,
no, we
that's
jumped
how-
around a little bit
Because I read
because
it
of people
last.
entering.
'Cause I
Yes,
I'm
I know
last.
you had a different order because of the
Initiative.
entering. All right, Captain. Yeah.
And then now you're acting.
Initiative makes things a little bit easier than this.
Yeah.
Usually I do this or that. but because
I
of
think
the
now we're back to going around the table.
unique circumstances. Well, I can remember the order. So, Captain,
All right. So who's currently about to get an axe in their side?
this guy,
Right.
Livingston.
Coming to your rescue. I'm going to axe the Axemen.
I like it. I like it. Yes.
Yo,
you-
buddy.
It's a
I
14.
feel like that's
Nice.
successful.
Yeah, you take an X-Men apart.
I feel like that's successful.
Yeah, with terrible harm, my axe is like 5 harm.
Oh yeah, he's gone. You were
That's-
just like you triple bisect him.
And I say hello.
Step the spine.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're fully manifested as this thing, right?
Yeah, this like lobster man.
Diego, I didn't know you were this cool. Friendly. He's
Sorry,
friendly. He's friendly.
Pierce.
He's friendly.
Roxanne.
It's me. How you
Oh.
doing?
No, I guess once I hear you
Doing
speak.
fine?
Yes, yes. Much better now.
Hey, there you go, laddie.
Willkie's like my ghost pirate lobster best friend.
Okay, so
On NBC.
she's still protecting this kid from getting stabbed. She is going to attempt to regenerate by letting it out. And honestly, I'm hoping to get a 7 to 9. So let's see how this goes. I did better than I wanted to.
I know. Don't you just hate when that happens? Like, I'm looking at
Just
all-
what you
rolled
want.
a 9, but
I rolled a 9 and then I added
Yeah,
2
yeah.
more to it, which brings me to 11. So I don't mark corruption and I just heal myself.
Well, don't worry. I'm sure you
Oh
get
wait, I
corruption.
think I get a second option because you get 2.
Yeah.
I know you get to on
Ignore
a
the-
10 plus you ignore the corruption.
No, or ignore the corruption, or choose another. So you can still take the corruption if you like, and you get one more
I'll
option.
take the corruption.
Looking out for you.
Then I'll take plus 1
Looking
for it
out
on my
for
next
you.
roll. I am going to go ahead and mark that corruption, which gives me a corruption move,
Oh,
which is
dude.
that I can. Hold on.
I know.
I got too excited.
I know the exact feeling.
Oh man. Okay, which means that I am going to take Sun and Moon. Mark corruption to transform into your wolf form at will.
There you go.
Nice.
Ooh.
So I am marking a corruption, and now there is a giant werewolf beast monster. So unlike her normal creaky, cranky sort of thing, it's just like her clothes explode off of her, and like it happens so super fast.
That was
Like,
really cool.
There was a woman there, and now there is a giant, scary wolf beast there.
Yes.
Willkie falls down with a yelp.
Who roars at the
Skelly boys.
Skelly boys.
Uh-huh. My other
You know what?
friend
Actually,
is a wolf monster.
instead of the +1 forward on the next roll, I will do the frighten and intimidate or impress my opposition.
Everybody is impressed, even these.
I'm absolutely
Okay.
impressed. Like, I'm so proud of her.
I want them
worried.
to stay away from the kids. So that's the whole point of the frightening
Yeah.
them, is to get them to attack literally anybody else besides this child.
They definitely are given some pause.
Cool. I'm gonna run over to
back to the
Wilkie.
night,
I'm gonna hand him the book.
Whoa.
I'm gonna hand him the book and say, Wilkie, you know you can do this. Just try. And I'm gonna try to persuade him and to.
Yeah, he can do it, but he's got that nerves.
I'm trying to reinforce him he can do this. I'm gonna try to do persuade an NPC.
Is this where you can use the debt?
I would say so. Yes, human plus.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
A +3.
Yeah.
All right.
And that gets me my level up.
Nice.
Nice.
Perfect.
Very good.
Because my heart is 0 to 12. Which,
Okay.
you don't have the advantage for that one, do you?
So he gives you a big smile, and he's like, "Well, if you say so." And
Remember, you can trust her. It's
He-
good people.
he reads the words. His eyes glow, and these picts freeze and sink back into the muck.
Good boy.
Thank you.
Let's get you back to the Bludgeoning Hall.
Good lad.
This has been kind of an adventure.
All right. So.
That much, though, I can't let you do.
Neither can I.
Uh-oh.
Alright, now, let's take it all easy, shall we? We both want different things here, and not everyone can get what they want. So
That's very
compromise,
valid.
maybe?
What I can tell you is that the child will not be harmed.
That's not good enough, mate.
I agree.
I don't know you from literally Adam. So I'm sorry. You need to have a better show of trust than just saying, "Oh, he won't be harmed." I'm just a scary dude with a sword who I literally have met today, and I don't know you.
Oh, woman, don't be judgmental.
That's true. I'm sorry. My apologies.
Yeah, he might
I don't
actually
know.
have said "dude"
They.
in like the
They.
old West
I'm
version of
sorry
a
that
fancy
I don't know
guy.
you, madam. I apologize for assuming your gender. I literally reach over and I pat him on the shoulder. I'm sorry.
Them.
Them.
That's perfectly
Yes.
fine.
Sorry. I'm horrible. Sorry.
You might be doing worse than you, well, trying to amend last.
That's true. Are you close to me?
Huh? I'm close to everyone right now.
Can I
I'm
let him out
close
to
to
teleport him away?
Oh, okay.
As
Yeah.
I reach over and touch him?
Yeah. All right. Roll him down. We'll see what happens.
It's
Not
gonna
another-
be
maybe not
something.
another-
I want to
Injuries.
interfere.
Yeah.
That's not
I think you're
anyways.
rolling. So you Okay.
It's an 8 so far.
Let's have
I'm try-
Roxanne roll.
I wanna-
Get in the way.
Yeah, so that's against power.
Yeah.
Cool, that's one of my worst ones.
So roll power. I'll see how you do. And give him a -2.
That's a 7.
I think it's a success anyways.
Okay,
Doesn't
you do it.
To interfere, how does
Expose
that?
yourself to danger.
The problem is you get
Or
some
what
danger
cause.
and entanglement.
Yeah.
Well, I figured that I'd probably get some
Yeah.
danger. Basically, I see her reaching out to touch him, and I just tackle her.
Okay.
Like so.
All right.
So like you're reaching out to touch them, and I'm just like, no. Bonk.
And I'm going to use my, instead of sending him, I'm going to teleport myself out of the way of this tackle.
Okay.
All right.
That's all
So
I
you
want.
teleported away.
What I can tell you, aside from that,
Wilkie's
is
very confused by all this. Teleporting Americans?
my
I'm like you.
child.
Oh.
You are very important to very powerful people, one of whom I am has been very good to me. And I can tell you that you will not be harmed, and my friend is trying to keep you away from those who would harm you.
He considers it, but then he steps closer to Captain Diego. This is my truest friend. I will do whatever he says.
So you got me in the blind here. Sure.
I'm sorry, my friend.
I know your sincerity, but as I'm sure you Sultan Pierce can agree, we can't fully trust you, mate.
I understand
Not
that.
you specifically, just the people you work for. And I have no idea what your role in all of this is, Roxanne.
I am trying very hard to assist a man who's going to take care of a very bad stain on this nation.
Aye, the sanguis, and I can sympathize you with that. So, how about we all do this? And I'm going to call my ship in. I'm going to use wall, and I'm going to hold my hand out for a rope that will hopefully come to me. Hey,
All right, I think it's meant to be our
10.
Whoa. Okay.
Okay. What's about to happen?
So I grab the kid, and out comes this first mate of mine. I have no idea what his name is. Let's call him Roger.
Roger.
Who's now a fish, as I am a fish now. The ship
Right.
changed with me. Comes
Okay.
out with the rope and grabs both of us. And we swing back onto the ship. With the kid.
Awesome.
If you want to negotiate, bring all of your people to the Sanguine Tide.
Whoa.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
And with that, with the Sanguine Tide sailing away, we're gonna call this scene to a close. But there is one final thing I want to do. LaFay, where do you teleport to?
I can only teleport a short distance.
Okay, so you're still at the school.
I think I would have found relative safety with his crew, so I teleported onto the Sanguine Tide.
Oh, okay, that
So
makes
I
sense.
just happened to be kind of on the ship somewhere, like, wait, where am I? Like, I've never been on the ship before. I just kind of teleported to where I think safety is. And I'm just kind of stuck below hull when all this happens.
Okay,
Just
well, I'm
like,
gonna say,
why am I here?
in that case, I'm gonna cut ahead just a little bit,
Okay.
to like maybe the day or so after the Sanguine Tide sails back to London.
By the way, did somebody actually remember to pick up Pierce? Or is he still down there?
I'll get a carriage.
Who?
Livingston.
Yeah.
Actually,
Well, no, I think, did all of us hop aboard the ship, or
Yeah, I
is it...
feel
Not
like
everybody.
3 of us are still down there.
I think it's just you and me aboard the ship. Oh, you know that I'm on the... Oh, you probably know that I'm on the ship.
so among my gear, it does say that I have a comfortable car, so
That's a
very nice
carriage.
wagon.
yeah,
That means you can call a carriage.
I can call
Yeah.
the carriage that I have.
So, LaFay, I'm gonna say in the day or so that follows,
I have a crappy car.
after you get safely back to the flat, and maybe these guys take a more
Oh, I'm not... yeah, but never mind. Anyways.
a normal route back to London, and I'll say we'll explain what happens to the Willkie in a little bit. Or actually, I'll say he's gonna stay with the captain, safely ensconced in London for the
I agree.
time being. So, you receive a meeting from none other than Headmaster Thorne,
Okay.
who arranges a meeting when you are like kind of alone in your flat. Or actually, I'm thinking about this. When next you enter your sanctum, that magical wagon that's bigger on the outside than the inside, you find Thorne inside there waiting for you.
How did you get inside my sanctum?
It was
It's a very good
a
question.
most difficult matter, but I persevered.
Are my runes... Are my wards still intact?
I entered without disturbing.
Thank you.
I would not wish to ruin someone who, like me, is a dabbler in those matters. LaFay, I have nothing but respect for your line. Your grandfather was a member of the League of Luminaries.
Adamar, yeah, he spoke highly of... He spoke highly of you the few times I met him.
Oh, yes. So he knew Adamar? Might
Who?
be a little, because your grandfather...
The assault, yeah. He probably knew him when she was very young.
Oh, okay, I see. That makes
So
sense.
she has no context on what that is. She just has heard she speaks highly, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard him kind of speak highly, I guess. It's been a long time.
Okay. So, Headmaster Thorne says, the League, one of the many reasons why I joined them, is because they are about providing power to the powerless. Something which I have spent my entire life striving for, and all it has brought me is a glorified tutor to a bunch of upper-class brats.
Yeah.
I wanted to change. There is another who has come to England to join me. We seek a common cause, the Count. and I would like to...
Count Dracula?
That is his name. I would wish to enlist you in our service. The cost, I will not lie to you, it will be high, but I believe the order that Dracula will ring in shall be a better one. And for that, I shall shed all the blood that I must. So I ask you, for the sake of your father and the League of Luminaries, when the time is right, join me. And with that, Headmaster Thorn, perhaps the master that a certain Renfield was referring to, teleports away.
Can I ask something really quickly? Before like all of this resolved, there was still like the other kid that had been summoning things from the
Oh, Pupley? Yeah, the head boy.
I think that my character would try to scare him.
I think he's pretty well scared.
So I think before we all left the place, I would have been like, Pupley, please don't do that again.
You're delivering that to him with me holding him up by like basically the scruff of his neck.
He says, Headmaster Thorn told me to.
Oh, did he?
That's interesting, actually.
And then you get that reveal that Headmaster Thorn is up to something. And I think with that, we're going to have to call this session to a close because we're 10 minutes over, I'm afraid.
Oh my gosh.
I know, all this cool intrigue. I was loving it.
Intense.
Sorry, I just didn't want to like move to the next thing without being like, wait, there's still that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's got to
He's
be some
there.
reason he was doing this stuff.
No, he's scared straight. But yeah, you're discovered. Thorn was the one behind him. The head boy. You know, Margaret Thatcher was head girl, so like I had to. But also, Matt
There's
Smith was
nothing
head...
wrong with being head girl. I was head girl.
Oh, interesting. Matt Smith was head boy, too. Fun
Yes,
fact.
it's rather
Yeah.
prestigious.
Uh-huh.
Are you implicating all of us in something very
Look,
wrong?
I'm sure
Yes.
back then, as I learned from reading The Sandman, that one issue that inspired it, all sorts of those head boys did all sorts of horrible stuff at boarding school, sacrificing their classmates to the devil. It's terrible. It's a real problem at British boarding schools, I assume. All right, let's go ahead and do those closing moves real quick. So, a lot of factions weren't really involved in this one. It's kind of a off the side. Actually,
Knight was heavily involved.
I might just miss it because there wasn't really too much interaction between them. But I will ask you this: is there anybody who you think owes you a debt or you owe them a debt? So we'll start with Isolde.
That owes me a debt? No, really.
But anyone that you owe a debt.
I think I probably owe a debt to Diego. He's come in clutch several times now, and I feel more and more indebted to him.
I think so. A ghost roommate that done good.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
just.
now you're only roommate.
Ooh, she moved out.
Roxanne never comes back.
I'm sure she does. I probably don't notice. I'm just spending most of my time in my sanctum, anyways.
Well, for the moment. All right. What about Marin?
Ooh, that's a very good question.
Does anyone owe you a debt, or do you owe anyone a debt?
I already owe you a debt, so.
And technically Diego does as well.
I do.
The intimacy move.
Ah,
You are
gotcha.
actually in my web now.
Yeah.
Oh, dang! All
And I
right.
could tell that you are sincere about that. It's not that. It's not Marin that Diego's untrustworthy with. It's just who they work for. You know.
How about? So are we good there, or?
So yeah, Diego owes Marin a debt.
Well, that was before this point, so
Yeah. Any at the ending? Just at the end before we.
I can't think of anything because
Okay.
there was a lot of intrigue, I'm not sure. While Roxanne was very helpful, I can never be too sure about her motives. So
That is true. You don't really know. She's not quite in Dracula's web. What about Livingston?
I don't think anybody owes me anything. But Diego for getting my back.
Oh yeah, definitely saved his
Literally,
life.
yeah, man. That was your clutch Crump Mission movement was awesome.
What about Roxanne?
I don't think any of the PCs owe me a debt, but I think that Lord Willkie, Lawless, Wintersmith owes me a debt.
Oh, that's fair. So you saved his life, so that's
I did,
something.
because he would have been pulled off into the bugs and killed if it wasn't for my character.
Absolutely.
Plus, he's scared of you.
Well,
Or thinks you're cool. I mean, it's kind of.
I mean, he was like, I've got a ghost friend and a werewolf friend. I mean, he seems pretty happy.
Yeah, weird kid. Or normal kid, I suppose. What about the aforementioned ghost friend?
So, I leveled up at the last part of that, and I'm changing my faction to Wild.
Whoa, okay.
But I'm not aligned with the Dwarf or the Wild faction. I'm going with Wild as in, we're now our own thing. The Sanguine Tide is just going on, doing their own goals.
Whoa,
aligned
I
with
love
no
it.
one at the moment.
Oh,
Respect
man.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. It's like the,
Good
the
call.
ghostly freighter
And if I
riding into
can-
the damaged evildoers.
Yeah, I
Ghostly freighter.
didn't mention that I also had leveled
Yeah.
up and that I have Reckless now. So when I go into danger without hedging my bets, I get armor +1.
Very cool. All right.
For factions, can I, take -1 to night and +1 to mortality, if that's okay? Because
Yeah.
I don't know if I owe anyone a debt or anything.
That's true. You're kind of leaving night, moving on to protect. Yeah, being your own thing.
I have one more question. I know that I'm pushing it.
Okay.
Dracula currently owes me a debt. Can I cash in that debt now to live with Dracula?
Ooh. Maybe I think that's how we'll start our next game.
Okay, great.
So just make a note that you want to do that, because I like the idea of us starting with a scene with you and Dracula hanging out. Just hanging out. But that's gonna have to wait for 1 week, because we're gonna do a special one-shot next week. It's gonna be this time. I learned my lesson from doing the one that was set like 100 years or so after Salem, Revolutionary France. I mean, I love that game, but it was like we all know Claggett lives. So it's actually
Yeah.
Right. No matter how much Goody Pruitt killed him.
Yes.
He is always
So we're not doing that again. This will not take place in like 1898. Instead, it will take place in 1878, 10 years prior. So it's a prequel, but it'll be with all other characters, maybe some recurring characters if you guys are up for it. In a whole new world, or a whole new place in the world.
Don't bring in Lord Claggett.
I probably won't bring in Lord Claggett.
Well, that just means he survives. At least for another 10 years.
That's true. So this episode, special one-shot, is going to be called The Elephant and the Lion, and will take place in Simla, which is in like the Himalayas, during the British Raj. So it'll be all sorts of interesting Indian mythology, all sorts of horrible colonial stuff waiting for you there in the Punjab. So all that and more next week, and we'll have some. Hopefully, a lot of you guys will be joining me. Maybe we'll get some special guests, and very excited for that one shot next week.
Yes. Stay tuned for some special guests. We have some familiar faces and maybe some unfamiliar faces next week. So welcome, and if you're a first-time viewer, or if you want to come by and see us next week. I want to get to the dice thing. I made an executive decision while things are going on here. Londell, I know that you're viewing right now, and you have been one of our almost longest diligent Sacramento area viewers. You have, I think, seen every show that we've ever put on this channel.
I appreciate that.
And we love you for it. I think it's been almost 2 years since you've been following, and you check in when you can, and you hang out in the Discord, and it's pretty awesome. So, yeah, pretty close. But you've been here almost 2 years. I think April is your 2-year anniversary as a follower. So what we're going to do is one of our game masters, Jim, sent us this via Amazon from Korea. I think that works, right?
Yeah.
Via Amazon from
Do
Korea.
it.
Whatever.
Say it. It's fine.
We're going to send you this pound of dice, dude. And the cool thing is you're local, so I could probably just swing it by and drop it off to you. But I'm going to go ahead and whisper you here on our Twitch channel to make sure we get all this taken care of. Yes, it's a full... I haven't even opened it yet because there's like a polyhedral set in here that we don't even know what color it is. So I just made that decision over the last hour going, you know what? This guy's been watching us for literally almost 2 years straight. Every program that we put on here, I think you've seen at least one episode of it. So thank you very much for that support here in Sacramento. and all the people around there. Learn from this guy. This guy is one of the best lurkers you will ever find on Twitch. And that's coming from a fellow lurker. I am a Twitch lurker. That's who I am. When I watch channels, I put them on, and I do other stuff. And we appreciate you because that means everything to us. So, Lundell, we're going to send that to you. I'll whisper you once the show ends, and we'll get this all taken care of. But until then, make sure we're going to come back next week on Tuesday. One shot, a little bit of offset in the past of our time set. But until then, make sure and pull up a chair
And
make time to tabletop. We will see you next week, guys.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
Hi.
Thanks for watching.
Woo.